Good evening. This is All India Radio. I am Valsa Williams with the news at 9. The headlines. India and Australia to further boost comprehensive strategic partnership. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his Australian counterpart Anthony Albanese to hold bilateral talks in New Delhi tomorrow. Third session of National Platform for Disaster Risk Reduction to focus on building local resilience in the face of climate change. Centre talks out multi-pronged strategy to ensure adequate availability of power during summer months. NISAR, the largest ever advanced radar system jointly developed by NASA and ISRO, reaches Bengaluru. Senior Nepali Congress leader Ramchandra Paudel elected as new president of Nepal. Australia score 255 for 4 wickets at stumps on day 1 in first innings against India in fourth and final test of Border Gavaskar Cricket Trophy in Ahmedabad. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese will hold bilateral talks in New Delhi tomorrow. The two leaders are expected to discuss various issues to further boost the comprehensive strategic partnership between their nations. Besides, both leaders are also expected to hold talks on trade, investment, defence, education and renewable energy. More from our correspondent.
India and Australia share warm and friendly relations. The strategic partnership between the two countries was elevated to a comprehensive strategic partnership in 2020. Last year, both the countries had signed a free trade agreement called the Economic Cooperation and Trade Agreement. The bilateral trades between the two countries amounts to nearly $27 billion in 2021-22. The bilateral trade is expected to cross $45 to $50 billion by 2035. The meeting carries significant weight in the context of Quad, as the two prime ministers are expected to discuss the ongoing efforts of the Quad in the Indo-Pacific region. Bhupendra Singh, AIR News, Delhi.
The Australian Prime Minister is on a 4-day visit to India. During his stay in Delhi, Mr. Albanese will also meet President Draupadi Murmu and External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate the third session of the National Platform for Disaster Risk Reduction in New Delhi tomorrow. This year's theme of the National Platform for Disaster Risk Reduction is building local resilience in the face of climate change. During the event, the Prime Minister will felicitate awardees of the Subhash Chandra Bose Apada Prabandhan Puraskar. The winners of the 2023 Puraskar are the Odisha State Disaster Management Authority and the Lunglei Fire Station of Mizoram. The Prime Minister will also inaugurate the exhibition for showcasing innovative ideas, initiatives and technologies in the field of disaster risk reduction. The 2-day session of the National Platform for Disaster Risk Reduction will be attended by over 1,000 dignitaries. It includes union ministers, ministers of disaster management from states, parliamentarians, representatives of local bodies, heads of specialized disaster management agencies, academicians and civil society organizations. Briefing the media in New Delhi, Member Secretary of National Disaster Management Authority, Kamal Kishore, said Home Minister Amit Shah will chair the ministerial session wherein extensive deliberations will be held with the ministers of states and union territories.
The inaugural session starts at 4:30. After the inaugural session, there will be ministerial roundtable, and along with the ministerial conference, there will be 2 parallel sessions happening simultaneously. Ministerial session में माननीय गृह मंत्री जी मंत्रियों के साथ मंत्रणा करेंगे.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will address the inaugural session of the post-budget webinar on the economic empowerment of women at 10 a.m. tomorrow. The webinar aims to brainstorm and firm up pathways for sustainable growth of women-owned and women-led business enterprises. It will also help develop a strategy and blueprint for implementation of the announcement made in the Union Budget 2023-24. Women and Child Development Minister Smriti Zubin Irani and Rural Development Minister Giriraj Singh will also attend the inaugural session with other dignitaries. Following the inaugural session, 3 breakout sessions under the themes of scaling up self-help groups into large business enterprises or collectives, leveraging technology and finance, and markets and business expansion will also see extensive deliberations. Union Minister for Commerce and Industry Piyush Goyal has exhorted industry to bring proposals for joint research projects, come up with new innovations and capture new markets. He was addressing the Export Awards function organized by the Synthetic and Rayon Textiles Export Promotion Council in Mumbai today. He asked industry to take benefit from National Technical Textiles Mission and to take the industry forward with faster growth. The minister said it is the need of the hour to study each free trade agreement and understand requirements of other countries better. He exhorted export promotion councils to open offices in other countries and locations like Dubai. The Ministry of Power has devised a multi-pronged strategy to ensure adequate availability of power during the upcoming summer months. As part of the strategy, adequate coal stocks would be made available at the coal-based power plants. The power utilities have been directed to undertake maintenance for coal-based power plants well in advance. On Tuesday, Union Minister of Power R.K. Singh chaired a review meeting in which a detailed discussion took place on various aspects to meet the high electricity demand in the upcoming months. During the meeting, member Railway Board assured the availability of enough rakes for the transport of coal. During the meeting, the Union Minister asked power companies to ensure no load shedding during the summer months. He also asked all the stakeholders to closely monitor the situation and take proactive actions to meet the electricity demand during the summer months. The ministry has directed National Thermal Power Corporation to run its 5,000 megawatt gas-based power stations during the crunch period in April and May. In addition, 4,000 megawatt of additional gas-based power capacity would be added by other entities during the summer months. Minister of State for Science and Technology Dr. Jitendra Singh today announced an exclusive women's portal for research grants and funds. The portal will become functional with effect from the 1st of April this year. Addressing the International Women's Day celebration program of the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research in New Delhi, the minister informed that the special call inviting proposals from women scientists will open on the same day. He expressed happiness at the country's improved sex ratio as it is now 1,020 women per 1,000 men. In his speech, the minister also informed that 68% of 2 crore PM Awas Gramin beneficiaries are women and over 23 crore Mudra loans have been granted to women beneficiaries. He said that in the last 9 years there has been a massive increase in women police personnel and more than 10,000 women officers are serving in the armed forces, a majority being in the medical services. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts. The Indian Space Research Organisation ISRO has received the NASA-ISRO Synthetic Aperture Radar NISAR satellite from the US Space Agency in Bengaluru. NISAR is a low Earth orbit observatory jointly developed by NASA and ISRO. A US Air Force C-17 cargo plane carried the payload to Bengaluru. NISAR will be integrated with the Earth observation satellite in UR Rao Satellite Center in Bengaluru and undergo various tests. The space mission is part of India-US civil space collaboration. NISAR, with the largest ever radar antenna, 12 meters long drum-shaped wire mesh reflector extended from a 30-foot boom, is the most advanced radar system that will study natural hazards, melting sea ice and groundwater supply. The GSLV Mark II launch vehicle of ISRO will launch the Earth observation satellite from its launch pad in Sriharikota early next year. President Draupadi Murmu on her visit to Amritsar visited Sri Harmandir Sahib today. She stayed there for almost 2 hours and wrote a message in the visitor's book of the Golden Temple. In her message she said it was great to see the volunteers working tirelessly in the spirit of service and devotion, especially during the Langar. She prayed that may the teachings of Sikh Gurus continue to inspire us to practice brotherhood and unity. After visiting Sri Harmandir Sahib, she also visited Jallianwala Bagh, Sri Durgyana Temple and Bhagwan Valmiki Ram Tirath Sthal. The Enforcement Directorate ED today arrested former Delhi Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia in connection with its money laundering probe into alleged irregularities in the now scrapped Delhi excise policy. Senior AAP leader Sisodia has been placed under arrest under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act. He was arrested following the second round of questioning at Tihar jail, by the ED. Mr. Sisodia is currently in Delhi's Tihar jail under judicial custody after the CBI's custody ended following his arrest on the 26th of last month in the excise policy. Senior Nepali Congress leader Ramchandra Patel has been elected as the new president of Nepal. He defeated Subhash Chandra Nembaung of CPN-UML in the presidential election held today. Former Speaker of the House of Representatives, Mr. Patel was a joint candidate of 8 parties alliance, including Nepali Congress and CPN Maoist Centre. He is the third president of Nepal. Veteran actor and director Satish Kaushik passed away this morning following a heart attack. This was informed by actor Anupam Kher in a tweet. The 66-year-old Satish Kaushik had acted in more than 100 films. Born on April the 13th, 1956 in Haryana, he acted in theatre before getting a break in Bollywood. An alumnus of the National School of Drama and the Film and Television Institute of India, Kaushik was best known for his roles in films such as Jaane Bhi Do Yaaro, Mr. India, Udta Punjab and Deewana Mastana.
पप्पू पेजर बोल रहा हूँ, ए झंटूले झटक ज्यादा न मटक और मेरी बात गले में सटक। मुन्नू मोबाइल मेरा छोटा भाई हैगा, मैं उसका मोटा भाई पप्पू पेजर लाइन पे हूँ.
Known for his comic timing, Satish Kaushik was a successful director and will be remembered for his films. A delegation of 200 Buddhist monks from South Korea offered special prayers at Mahaparinirvan Temple at Kushinagar in Uttar Pradesh and wished for world peace today. The delegation reached Kushinagar on foot from Bodh Gaya. The pilgrimage is marking 50 years of diplomatic relations and collaboration between India and South Korea. AIR correspondent reports that as guest of the Government of India, the delegation performed special puja along with a tour of the places associated with the life of Lord Buddha. At the stock market, the key indices today logged losses of nearly 1%. The index of the top 30 companies on the Bombay Stock Exchange, Sensex, ended below the 59,900 mark. The Nifty and index of the top 50 companies on the National Stock Exchange closed below the 17,600 level. Both benchmark indices fell amid weak global cues due to broader concerns over the U.S. Federal Reserve's interest rate trajectory. A report from the business desk.
The Sensex declined 542 points to end at 59,806. The Nifty fell 165 points to settle at 17,590. Gold price at the multi-commodity exchange for April contracts delivery was trading at around 55,000 rupees per 10 grams. And oil prices held steady as fears over the economic impact of rising interest rates offset a surprise drop in U.S. crude inventories and hopes for Chinese demand. In intraday trade, Brent crude was trading at around $82.80 per barrel. S. Rangabashyam for AIR News.
Khelo India 10 Ka Dam tournament will start tomorrow. Youth Affairs and Sports Minister Anurag Singh Thakur will attend the opening ceremony scheduled at Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium in New Delhi. In the run-up to the International Women's Day 2023 celebrations, the Youth Affairs and Sports Ministry is organizing the Khelo India 10 Ka Dam tournament from the 10th to the 31st of this month. In Women's Premier League, Delhi Capitals have set a victory target of 106 runs before Mumbai Indians at Dr. D.Y. Patil Sports Academy, Navi Mumbai. Delhi were all out for 105 runs in 18 overs. In reply, Mumbai Indians were 9 for no loss in 1 over when reports last came in. Earlier, Delhi Capitals won the toss and opted to bat first. In cricket, Australia were 255 for 4 wickets at stumps in their first innings against India on day 1 of the 4th and final test of Border Gavaskar Trophy at Narendra Modi Cricket Stadium in Ahmedabad. Usman Khwaja on 104 and Cameron Green on 49 were at the crease when stumps were drawn this evening. Earlier, Australia won the toss and elected to bat first. For India, Mohammad Shami claimed 2 wickets while Ravichandran Ashwin and Ravindra Jadeja bagged 1 each. India lead the series 2-1. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. India and Australia to further boost comprehensive strategic partnership. Prime Minister Modi and his Australian counterpart Anthony Albanese to hold bilateral talks in New Delhi tomorrow. Third session of National Platform for Disaster Risk Reduction to focus on building local resilience in the face of climate change. Centre talks out multi-pronged strategy to ensure adequate availability of power during summer months. NISAR, the largest ever advanced radar system jointly developed by NASA and ISRO, reaches Bengaluru. Senior Nepali Congress leader Ramchandra Paudel elected as new President of Nepal. That is all in the news at 9. Good night.